We're learning new details about a deadly house fire that killed 4 little girls.
The girl's mother, Reagan Powers, in court today for the first time on those charges in Columbus County. She faces several felony charges related to the deaths of her 4 children. WECT's Delaney Tarpley joins us live outside the Columbus County Courthouse. She sat in on that hearing today. So walk us through what happened, Delaney.
Well, Fran and John, from the moment Powers walked in, she was surrounded by friends and family. And once she actually got inside that courtroom, she did seem to get a little emotional. But those people with her literally wrapped their arms around her. Now, we weren't allowed to record anything inside of the courtroom, but the judge told her she faces a significant amount of jail time. Nearly 5 years in jail for each count of involuntary manslaughter and more than 7 years for each count of child abuse. And as we said, she faces 4 counts of each. Her 4 daughters, ages 2, 4, 6, and 7, died nearly 2 weeks ago in that fire. But Powers was arrested yesterday afternoon. She was held under a $400,000 secured bond at the Columbus County Detention Center, and she bonded out about an hour after her arrest. In court today, she said she was seeking a court-appointed attorney. The judge assigned her one from the public defender's office. And the judge told her she is expected back in court on September 25th. And at that hearing, they're going to determine if there's enough evidence to move forward with a trial. Investigators say they still don't know exactly why that fire started, but they don't think it was set intentionally. Reporting live in Columbus County, Delaney Tarpley, WECT News.